much. For more, let's welcome Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno. Senator, thank you so much for joining us. We've got a lot going on and a big expectation from the president here. What do you expect to hear, and what kind of antics do you think we're going to actually see from the Democrats along the way?
Well, I think what President Trump will do is just talk about what he's done over the last 7 weeks. Completely secured our border, which proves that Joe Biden had absolutely allowed the invasion of our country to happen. Because if you can get it secure in 7 weeks, Joe Biden could have done the same thing. So that's number one. He's sending a message of peace around the world. And it's shocking to me that the Democrats are warmongers. They want wars to go on. I'm old enough to remember that the Democrats used to be the party of peace. Now they're the party of war. Talking about how he's all about renewing American spirit. Look, we want to make things that are sold here in America. The auto industry is near and dear to my heart. My message to the car companies, Ohio never will get tariffed. Build your cars in Ohio. There isn't a better place to do it.
I'm really glad that you brought that up, because tonight's theme is renewal of the American dream. Part of that certainly is the border and stopping the invasion that happened under President Biden. But part of it is also the economy. And today, obviously, everybody was focused on the tariff conversation. They've been implemented. Other countries are responding as a result. The stock market had a rough day absorbing some of this. People are having trouble seeing past this particular moment to see the bigger picture of what President Trump is trying to do here with respect to closing our borders, making sure drugs don't get into this country, leveling the playing field for trade, but also, as you mentioned, bringing that production of manufacturing back here to the United States. This is a long-term game. It may not pay off overnight the way some are expecting. Do you think that he's going to address that and try to explain that to the American people?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's very simple for me. I represent Ohio. We have about 5,000 people a year that are ravaged by fentanyl poisoning, families that are absolutely destroyed because a son, a father, a mom, a kid took a pill that they didn't know what was in there and just died. It isn't an overdose or an addiction. And what we're saying to our supposedly two best allies is stop sending poison that's killing hundreds of thousands of Americans every year into our country. So I think the ball's in the court of Canada and Mexico to actually stop the poisoning of American citizens. It's over 100,000 deaths a year, and they've been complicit in it, especially Mexico. So they need to get their act together and fix it. It's not on President Trump to do it, it's on them to do it.
Now, Senator, I've actually been on the floor 10 times for a joint address to Congress or a State of the Union. I believe this will be your first. So Axios is reporting today that Democratic lawmakers, they're plotting to disrupt the speech, writing, some members have told colleagues they may walk out of the chamber when Trump says specific lines they find objectionable. And, quote, a wide array of props, including noisemakers, have been floated, including signs, eggs, and hand clappers. Of course, it's a violation of the rules to bring any sort of prop like that or do a disruption. I sat through 8 of Barack Obama's speeches, but I did so professionally. I didn't mock the president. What's your take and attitude going into this, and what do you think will happen, as best you can guess?
Look, if the Democrats want to act like children, if they want to act like petulant children that are just mad because the party of raping and pillaging America is over and sending our taxpayer dollars to foreign countries, then I got the best prop of all, Jason, and I've encouraged all my senators to bring it. Let's just wave the American flag, because at the end of the day, we're the party of patriots, we're the party of America, we're the party of America renewal, and we support our president 100%.
I'm so glad that you brought up your experience and listening. We have lost the ability in this country to have a conversation on both sides of the aisle to a certain degree. And I believe it was AOC earlier on X saying she's not even going to come tonight. It was the Democrats going into this election that said democracy was at stake. Isn't part of democracy listening to each other, being respectful, being in the venue and taking it in, even if your party isn't in charge, even if you don't love what the commander-in-chief is saying?
Well, you know, they're completely intolerant. That's what's different about the Democrats of today versus the Democrats that I knew 20 or 30 years ago. By the way, Ohio was a Democrat state at one point, and it was Democrats that cared for working Americans, that listened, tolerated free speech, thought about how we help America more than anything else. This group is a bunch of foreign-looking, completely intolerant people that are incapable of processing anything other than their own ideas. But look, we're going to make this country great again. We're going to restore American principles. And I became a U.S. citizen when I was 18 years old. The idea that somebody would bring in a flag other than this flag into that chamber is deeply offensive to me as somebody who swore allegiance to this country by choice when I was 18 years old.
Yeah, good for you. Senator, one more question we want to ask you here, because you made a good point. If you have something that's made in America, there are no tariffs. So you've actually been behind a bill talking about this as it relates to the auto industry. Tell me what you're trying to do there.
So set one set of federal standards, not have California or quite frankly any state be able to set a different standard. Jason, you know this. Our job here is to regulate interstate commerce. So one set of fixed standards for 10 years that are achievable and aspirational. Lower the price of automobiles. Stop making 3 different kinds of cars, not knowing what kind of vehicle is going to come around the corner. We need to restore our auto industry here in America. And if you sell a car here in America, make it in America.
And of course, the president will talk about his accomplishments so far, but he will also address what he is planning to do and how he will work with Congress, hopefully, to deliver on the promises that he made to the American people. So one aspect that we're seeing play out is the tariff aspect right now. But of course, when it comes to the economy, there are tax cuts and corporate tax cuts that will help incentivize corporations to come here and make it in the USA.
Yeah, exactly. What we're going to do is we're going to make the 2017 tax reform permanent. We're going to make certain that the tax cuts that we do put in that are new are about no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security. Because the reform that we did in 2017 created the greatest economy in American history, and we're going to keep that going, and we're going to get past the last 4 years of massive regulation, massive hindrance in our economy. We're going to make America safe and prosperous.
Senator Bernie Moreno. Moreno, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy tonight. It's an honor to be there on the floor listening to the president. Enjoy it.